WWE Raw kicks off with Bobby Lashley and MVP coming out, and MVP says there's no better way to start the year than with having Bobby Lashley as champion. Then Kevin Owens comes out, but so does Seth Rollins, and he says he doesn't want Lashley in the title match at day one. Then Big E comes out and says he has no problem beating Lashley one more time. Then Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville come out, and Pearce says Lashley can be in the title match if he beats Big E, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens in one-on-one matches tonight. Matt Riddle with Randy Orton in his corner versus Otis with Chad Gable in his corner, and Otis wins with a slam. After the match, Randy goes to RKO Otis but hits Chad Gable with one instead, and Otis drops Randy. Bianca Belair versus Doudrop, and Bianca wins with a 450 splash. After the match, Doudrop attacks Bianca on the stage. Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens, and Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson is in the crowd, and Lashley wins when Owens taps out before Lashley even locks on the full Nelson. Becky Lynch comes out and says the crowd wanted Becky back, and now they're mad because she's champion. Then Liv Morgan comes out and points out that Becky used the ropes to pin Liv last week, and Becky says you have yourself to blame for not knowing it was coming. You're not ready for this, and Becky says you did the same thing you always do, Liv, absolutely nothing. And Liv attacks Becky, but Becky stomps Liv's arm into the steel stairs. And Becky says we can have the match now if you want. Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. During the match, Austin Theory gets on the apron to take a selfie, distracting Balor, and Ziggler hits a Dakota Nader on Balor for the win. Rhea Ripley with Nikki Cross in her corner versus Zelina Vega with Carmella in her corner. During the match, Nikki is chasing Carmella, and Rhea goes to check on Nikki after she gets super kicked by Carmella, and Zelina wins with a crucifix roll-up. Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley, and during the match, Kevin Owens comes out and hits Rollins, so Rollins wins by disqualification, but Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville come out and say Lashley's matches tonight will be no disqualification, and they restart the match, and Lashley wins with a spear. Backstage in Vince McMahon's office, Austin Theory shows Vince his selfie, and Vince isn't impressed and says I'm going to have to use my most dangerous weapon, and pulls out a pencil and says the most important part is the eraser. Maurice and The Miz are out for Miz TV, and Miz says he should be in the Hall of Fame. Then Edge comes out and says Miz still has lessons to learn and that he's going to teach him some at day one in their match, and he'll knock the constipated look off of Miz's face. Then Miz attacks Edge, and Edge goes to spear Miz, but Miz puts Maurice in front of himself as a shield, so Edge stops and Miz drops Edge, but Maurice is upset about it and slaps Miz. Big E versus Bobby Lashley in the main event in a no disqualification match. During the match, Rollins and Owens come out to attack Lashley, but Big E fights off Rollins and Owens, and he slams Owens through a table, then Lashley spears Rollins through a table, then MVP hits Big E in the leg with his cane, and Lashley wins with a spear. So he's now in the title match at the Day 1 pay-per-view. We'll see you next week for the next Rush Raw review.